And we're live. We'd like to welcome everyone into the first edition of the world's worst motorsports podcast. It's Right Sides Only. I'm Turnpike.
I'm Greene.
And we're going to talk about some of the various goings-on in NASCAR as of recent.
What was that accent you just
I
had?
have absolutely no idea.
That
but
was
hey, you know,
concerning.
you got to do what you got to do.
That's what happens when you watch F1.
Hey, I enjoy all forms of motorsport, not just
Including
NASCAR.
ones where you sit there in a line.
When you got me into motorsports, you didn't tell me that you only like NASCAR. So I got into all of them.
It's the only good one. I figured it was
I got
a given.
into all of them. So
I say it's the only good one. I watched others too, but
I mean,
they have a
NASCAR's
good
great.
points battle
F1's
for
great.
the first time in a decade.
IndyCar's great. That is absolutely not true. Just because 2020 wasn't a great F1 season doesn't mean they're all bad. Anyway, so moving on.
It's the one I saw.
It was still pretty good. Pierre Gasly's win at Imola was pretty awesome.
You didn't sound very excited.
Anyway, it wasn't Imola, it was Monza. Anyway, so moving on. Figured since it's now the off season, I think we should do a little brief recap on the championship format, that whole bonanza that's going on there, because a lot of people not happy with the format.
Kyle Larson's pit crew saved NASCAR's butt, basically.
But Kyle Larson, yeah, if anyone but Kyle Larson would have won that, especially if it was Truex. I think NASCAR got away with it.
I have a problem with that one.
NASCAR got away with it last year because it was the sport's most popular driver. Anyone else, if I don't know if Joey Logano would have won that championship or Brad Keselowski would have won that championship, it would have been crazy because Harvick and Hamlin should have, either one of them should have won that. I mean, Harvick should have won.
And Harvick didn't even have a freaking shot.
It was brutal. Anyway,
a little concerning.
So, this year, I think you went and you did. You went and listed some points formats for us, I think.
Yes. So, we go into this race with the 4 people having a shot. Honestly, 3 of them shouldn't have had a shot within the last 3 races.
Fair.
Kyle Larson, double-digit wins. When you have double-digit wins, I feel like that should just be automatic. All right, King, here you go.
All right, just take it, yeah, kind of thing. I understand that, but also, like we talked about, consistency. Consistency is huge, and I think consistency can get you up there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But if you're consistently second place to the same guy, the guy in first place should probably get the trophy.
He should probably win the trophy, but yeah, you
can be second all you want. Somebody's in first.
You know where you should be? Second. But you know,
at Denny Hamlin.
At Denny Hamlin. Well,
forever second.
We'll talk about Denny Hamlin later.
The next Martin.
Go through the first one of those that you had.
So
there.
yeah, if you just take out the playoffs.
Yeah.
You just keep stage racing, I assume.
Yeah.
You have Kyle Larson wins it.
Yep.
36 points behind is Denny Hamlin. And then
36 isn't.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's less
all
than
things
a race.
Considered.
That's less than a race.
That's consistent. Yeah.
Then Chase Elliott's 200 points behind him. But we're not going to talk about that.
Well,
it's a good first and second place battle.
Denny Hamlin is also helped by having a monster postseason.
Yeah, he did really well.
You know, he won those 2. Should have won Martinsville. We'll talk about that because I have a strong opinion on that race. But yeah.
Now I do want to move on to another thing.
Yep.
The point system that you praise so much. Yep. If you take F1 points and put them in NASCAR,
well, I see.
Kyle Larson runs away with a 146-point lead
because of winning. Also, I want to make the distinction that I like the F1 point system in F1. I like the NASCAR point system in NASCAR. I don't want either of them to change. I think
there's too many cars in NASCAR to make the F1 point system.
Yeah, that's
good.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want them to adopt the F1 point system.
Because you could win 10 races and then DNF the rest, and you'd still be in a pretty good spot. You'd have 240 points, and that would put you in 6th place.
Yep. What else did we have here? We had that and
laps led. That's the laps led.
That is insane.
That is the one category that the Final Four actually agreed on. Because if you put Martin Truex Jr. without playoffs, he's in 8th.
Yep.
Put him in F1, he is in 4th. Okay. Laps led, he's in 4th. But that is the one category where the Final Four was exactly correct.
Yeah, and that's true. Also, Byron in that.
Yeah.
You know, another Mr. Consistent for so long that had a rough stretch in the playoffs.
Well,
Could have won the Roval.
Well,
stuff happens.
He has had. To me, it seems like he just had a lot of bad luck this year.
Bad luck, Byron strikes again.
Yeah, like he was running consistently. I think that's what he needs. I heard an interview with Kyle Petty. He never says anything controversial.
Yeah,
but he was actually saying that he believes that William Byron will be like a Mount Rushmore driver for Hendrick.
That's what
I'm curious if that plays out.
My dad has the same exact opinion of William Byron, and my dad's been watched NASCAR and been around racing his literal whole life.
Yeah,
and I think he understands that. He says that if William Byron starts watching races, starts winning races, everybody better look out. He'll have a Kyle Larson-esque season all the time.
I'm an iRacer, so I'm biased. It's cool to see.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, you got your quote Twitch guys in F1 that are doing really good. Albon, Russell, Leclerc, Lando Norris, of course, that does lots of Twitch stuff. He's basically a Twitch streamer that races F1 as a hobby.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see these guys that race digital. It's like, you just drive a car on a video game. That's not good. And then they go into the real thing, and then they're really good.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, like, as long as we are limited by technology, we're not going to be able to replicate it to the exact feeling one-to-one.
That's true.
Because obviously, especially with lower budget rigs like the one I got, you can't replicate the G-forces, the movement, all that.
True.
But
it is different.
The foundation for good racing is built on the simulator.
Very true.
You can understand why the car does what it does. I've learned a little bit about making setups just from doing the sim, never having stepped in a race car in my life. So
yeah, and
it's a cool deal.
I think it's cool. It also just shows how good these simulators and games are. All the racing games, well, except for NASCAR Ignition, that one's an absolute dumpster fire. But the other ones, F1 and iRacing and stuff, is pretty accurate. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of discrediting those people. But also, I like that you don't have to pay millions of dollars to get a ride in iRacing.
Yeah, exactly. So here's one thing that I've noticed, and I may be forgetting something that happened in the postseason. Kyle Busch must have just fell off the ledge at the end of the year, because if you look at his stats, like top 10s he's in 4th, top 5s he's also in 4th. I guess he really didn't get it done. He only had 2 wins, and didn't lead a lot of laps. He was like 8th in the laps led, but he had a lot of top 5s and top 10s to not even have a shot.
Yeah, and what's crazy is I'm kind of biased, and I think that Kyle Busch is probably the most talented driver in NASCAR.
Yeah.
From a pure how well can you drive a car standpoint.
Kyle Larson?
Well, I think Kyle Larson is great. I also think he had a brutally good car. I think they got that car perfect.
Has
also,
every car he's ever stepped in been good? Because he's won in about every single car he's gotten
that's
in.
Also that's what makes
He made Chip Ganassi look good.
I would say, hold on. Here's my thing. Pure stock car driver, Kyle Busch is the best. If I wanted to buy a driver that I could throw in any car in the world and win, I would probably take Kyle Larson. That's just my opinion.
I thought it was Natalie Decker. My bad.
Natalie Decker is the GOAT. I mean, she's a close second. She did win that. She did win that one race I saw the other day. She won something. So congratulations, Natalie.
Good job.
That is
yes,
fantastic.
Natalie.
We love you, Natalie.
Good job. I congratulate you. I thought I realized she didn't really have a ride this year, did she?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Poor Natalie. Anyway, so talking about that, I found this, and I'll have to credit. I'll put this in the description somewhere. This was posted to NASCAR Reddit, a absolute dumpster fire of a place. But this is the different points through different things. A lot of it is through the different chase formats.
Yeah.
Full season points, Larson.
Really?
2004 to 2006 chase, Larson. 2007 to 2010 chase, Larson. 2011 to 2013 chase, Larson. 2014 to 2016 chase, Larson. 2017 to 2020, Larson. So, but what's interesting is the second place runner-up changes in a lot of those. So 4 to 6 is Hamlin, 7 to 10 is Hamlin, 11 to 13 is Hamlin, 14 to 16 is Elliott, 2017 to 2020 is Truex.
We just need to settle on something.
It's weird to see the same amount of points in different systems are worth completely different things.
Yeah, and and that's the thing. If we just normalized what the points are going to be, I feel like eventually the criticisms would go away because that's what we'd be acclimated to.
Yeah.
But, like, when you change it all the time, we're always going to be upset with it because we see the merits to different point systems.
Yeah. I think, what was it last year for the 2020 playoffs? I think it was they had Mario Lopez do like a 6-part series describing how the playoffs work.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I never saw a thing about it.
If you have to do that, there might be a problem with your system. I'm just being real.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
I do agree. I think it was a NASCAR Weekly podcast, guys, or it was Eric. They were talking about that of all of the weird chase and playoff formats we've had, that the one we have now is probably the best one.
If we are going to have to stick through a playoff where it's going to be a winner take all at the end, I guess this is the one. I would almost want it to be 3 drivers because I feel like we always get a wild card that doesn't need to be there and has no business winning the championship. Yeah. Joey Logano should not have won his championship in 18. He should have won the one in 15 when old Kansas decided he wasn't going to do that.
Oopsies.
But he forgot where the brake pedal was, I'm sure. But we always have that one person, Martin Truex, this year. Is just they have no business being there. Ryan Newman in the first year, he could have won the championship without winning a race.
Yep.
I mean,
he could have pulled a Crafton.
Yeah, he could have pulled a Crafton. But it's like, I think we need to go down to 3 drivers. And I'm literally just thinking that right now. I haven't had that thought before now, so maybe it's a little irrational thinking. I feel like shutting it down to 3 might help get rid of that wild card that has no business being there. Either that or I'll keep the wild card in there and kick out the good guy. But I don't know.
Here's my thing. So if we're talking about the playoff system, I think the easiest way to fix a playoff system is to make it consistent.
Yeah.
Round of 16, 3 races. Round of 12, 3 races. Round of 8, 3 races. Championship, 3 races. So
see, I do like that better.
I like that a lot better because it saves from the what we saw with Cindric and Hemrick. I didn't know their names were that close to us. I'm not allowed together. It would. I mean, of course, they're going for this Game 7. Oh, all the cards down kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hemrick won that championship, but under no circumstance should he have won that championship. I think that people gave that a pass because everybody was excited that it was his first career win, that it was a great pass. It was a great pass for the win.
Martin.
It was a great pass for the win.
Yeah.
And it was a great finish, but it's just crowning undeserved champions.
I would have died if he finished second, won the championship,
and had more championships than wins. Yep, that would have been great. That would have been awesome. But
I would have loved that.
I think it goes a long way for the playoff format because I also think it was Eric in the same NASCAR Weekly podcast, or maybe he mentioned it on the show, is that the era that we're in now is very, with the luck-based portion of it. I think that, and I agree with him, that the age of 7-time champions is gone. I don't think we will ever see, because it's so luck-based, that you will not see a driver like a Johnson or a Earnhardt or somebody go through and just win 7 championships. The magic number is 7 in championship.
Apparently.
Lewis Hamilton is trying to break that this year.
I mean, you got a point, because honestly, when I think about, I was thinking about the other day, is like, how many championships do we think Larson gets? And my brain just said 4.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, to me, he is, obviously, we may be kind of sugarcoating the way he is because of the season he had this year. Everyone has a good season.
Could have just been a unicorn. I don't think it is, but it could have been a unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. But, as amazing as he's been and how he's proved himself in every series he's been in, it's still hard for me to see him winning more than 4 championships. Just because of the way the system is. And
you know what the biggest, with 4, you know what the biggest hurdle to that is?
What?
Him winning 4 championships is Chase Elliott. Do you honestly? So I think that Chase Elliott will win a couple more championships.
Chase is amazing at marketing.
I think Chase will win a couple more championships, but I don't think him and Kyle Larson being so dominant can coexist in the championships.
I don't see Chase Elliott being dominant.
I mean, I do.
He is a good driver.
Yeah.
He deserves a Hendrick spot.
Yeah.
He's Dale Jr. too.
Enough. I mean,
he's the most popular driver.
I would consider him more successful than Dale Jr.
Slightly.
He's got one
yes.
championship.
Yes.
Dale had 0. So.
Well, granted, he had a championship in a format where you don't have to be the best driver to win the championship. Yep. Dale Jr. didn't have a championship, but those championships mattered more.
With that, in a couple of years, a lot of the big dogs are going to be gone. It won't be long till Hamlin's gone, Truex is gone, Harvick's gone,
the puppers will take over.
Gone, Logano's gone, Busch is gone.
Logano's got a little bit.
Yeah,
he's
got
only
time,
like
but
he might be 30.
It's gonna be that their reign of we're gonna have. I consider them to be like a couple years ago with like the big 3.
Yeah,
or
I mean, I see Harvick
leaving
and I
soon.
see Truex leaving in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I do too.
Ty Gibbs will take over for Truex.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
I'm calling it right now.
He's gonna be a monster.
Oh, he's gonna be good.
Ty Gibbs is gonna hold on.
Then again, William Byron blew up the Truck Series. We'll see what he's done so far.
True. Well, I think that he got promoted way too early.
Yeah,
if they let
right.
Ty Gibbs develop, and Ty Gibbs is
that ain't happening.
If Ty Gibbs gets his time and he reaches up to his potential, multi-time NASCAR champion. Just being real.
I don't think they're giving him his time.
I don't think they're going to give him his time.
I think they're going to throw him in the Cup
Series,
Series, and he's going to have the security blanket of driving for his grandpa.
Well, if that was my grandson, he'd definitely be.
He's going to be about as safe as Sir Lancelot in F1.
Well, Sir Lancelot is pretty safe. Latifi's pretty safe. Anyway,
yeah.
Unless he gets up there and is absolutely just stinking it, because I think Joe Gibbs as a person has some decent integrity.
Yeah, that is fair. I think he does too. He really is a good guy.
I mean, he's not going to be one of those guys that's like, oh, my grandson's going to race because he's my grandson, and then you put him.
Richard Childress.
And then you unretire the most iconic number in NASCAR and bring a lot of.
I'm glad we were on the same page there. That was kind of funny.
I mean that's the worst way to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can argue full nep. Now, I'm not saying Austin Dillon's a bad driver.
No,
I just don't think he's just not good. Is the problem.
To me, he's like
Tyler Reddick is better than Austin Dillon. Write that down right now.
He makes me think of Paul Menard.
Fair.
He is a super average driver.
Very.
The only thing is, it's unfortunate that his grandpa is his team owner because that's what gets all the silver spoon
why
comments.
He's there. Also, poor Ty Gibbs.
It's all right.
Well, I just think he's gonna have a lot of.
I'm curious to see how he does.
Being Ty Gibbs with the name, people are gonna be like, people are gonna think that. They're gonna be like, oh, he's only got it because of his name, and as of right now, he's proven himself to be.
And
great.
I will say he's said a couple dumb things, but he's what 18 or 19.
Who else has said dumb things? Everybody.
Exactly.
So,
and he's 18 or 19 years old. He has actually conducted himself pretty professionally for someone of that age. You know.
He's not. He could be acting like an absolute lunatic, like, I don't know, Kevin Harvick. But, yeah, I think he's much more mature than Kevin Harvick. I think probably Keelan Harvick's probably doing better than Kevin at the moment. But that's a story for another day. So, yeah, just some interesting stuff going on there.
There's another thing kind of look at. I've got below those points if you want to look, kind of comparing to last year's points set up. Just to this was kind of eye-opening to me because it's kind of like this is exactly where he belonged in points this year. Second place, Martin Truex Jr. last year was in 7th in points. This year he would have been in 8th. Just a thought process.
Yep.
Penske went down because Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano were second and third.
Oh, well, they lucked into that championship race. So
yeah, they were second and third last year. They're 6th and 8th this year.
Yep.
Trying to think. Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick both got in the playoffs this year.
Look at Byron, though. From 14th to 10th.
Yeah, that's a good jump.
That's a good jump. Of course, and if he would have had a better playoffs, it would have been better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he deserved better than that. I think in the regular points he was like 7th.
I think that's about where he performed this year.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Borderline top 5.
Because here's the thing, he got that win. Was it
Homestead?
Yeah, something like that. But he got that win, but he couldn't punch a ticket to any of the other wins.
No,
he got stuck with that one, and
he was there in all of.
He was consistently there. He's a puzzling driver to me because I wonder if he's having trouble just performing under the pressure of those circumstances, or if it truly is just the luck against him. Because I know some circumstances clearly has been luck, but I wonder that as many chances as he has had to win. I hope that he's able to get over that slump and finally get something going.
Well, if we're talking about chances to win, he's had quite a few, but in a lot of them, he's just been top 5 just there.
Yeah, he's been there.
He's been consistent.
But if we're going to talk about someone who's jumped in the points, let's talk about Daytona 500 champion
winner, Michael Mcdowell. Great
Get
job.
this man a McDonald's sponsorship.
Get that man a big, fat contract to win no races for the rest of his career.
You know what? This next gen, I'm hoping he'll do.
He's not going to win a single race. His biggest achievement is taking up a playoff spot from someone that could have used it.
I thought you were going to say his biggest achievement was eating the wall in Texas in 2008.
Okay, that's low. That's low.
That's unfortunate.
It just
he walked out. He's fine.
He's
still,
okay. Is he still alive? Yep, that's all that matters.
Knock the breath out of him. He'll be all right.
Rub some dirt on it. But I think it goes back to the points format with Michael McDowell. Of we could have got a car much more him and Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola was guilty of this also.
Yeah,
those were 2 spots that better cars could have taken.
Yeah.
Well, at least one.
I will say, yeah.
So,
Eric Almirola puzzles me because every now and then he does good, but some years, and maybe it was, I think Stewart Haas was part of this because they truly were garbage.
Yep.
Kevin Harvick is the only thing that saved that team this year. I wonder how good Eric Almirola would be in a better car.
Not good. You've heard it here first. I don't think he's any good. I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't dislike him. He has what, 2 career wins?
Something like that.
I think he had one at Talladega.
Honestly, I think the one you're thinking of was did he? I guess he did have a cup win at Talladega. That's right.
He did have a cup win at Talladega,
yes.
and then he had.
Because I was thinking of the Xfinity one where they had to do the review. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Okay, but
I remember the driver swap. But
if we're gonna talk another person who improved position this year, Quinn Houff. Last year was 33rd in points. This year was 31st in points. Granted, there were only 31 full-time drivers this year.
That's an improvement.
But
let's go Starcom.
That number is not 2 3s. It is
Winvow is excited.
Winvow's team just died.
Poor Winvow.
They finished on top of the bottom.
If you take the point standings and flip it upside down,
he won.
They're on top.
He won. If you flip those numbers, he's in the top 15.
If you think about it, there's 2 positions in racing. If Ricky Bobby taught me anything, you're either first or you're last. Everyone else doesn't count. So by that logic, the only 2 people that matter are Kyle Larson and Quinn Houff.
I like that.
I mean, he's the GOAT. I mean, he's the GOAT of being bad, but he's the greatest of all time at being the worst of all time.
Nice. Just nice. That's just
I'm just being
solid.
honest. I mean, he's bad.
I mean, so that's the thing with and there's nothing we can do to change this. It's just the nature of motorsports, but we literally let a guy in with some ARCA starts and said, all right, you're full-time cup now. Have fun. I don't think he had any truck or Xfinity starts. He may have had some Xfinity, I think. I think he had like 6 starts in Xfinity, but I could be totally blanking out and saying a random number. I don't know. That feels right.
I don't know. He's also...
The thing, none of us knew him when he came in, and that was a problem.
He's also only 24 years old. I did not think he was that young.
I knew he was young, but...
He drives like he's 87, but he's only 24.
Shoot, that brings back Morgan Shepherd, Joey Logano, New Hampshire vibes.
Oh yeah. Here, let's look at some Quinn Houff stats. So, Daytona 500, 29th.
Let's go.
Daytona Road Course, 40th. What's his best? Bristol Motor Speedway Dirt, 25th.
I didn't think he got in the top 30 very often.
All-Star Open, 15th.
Well, the Open, there's only like...
There's only like 15 cars.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was bottom of the barrel.
Talladega, top 20 at Talladega, 19th.
I'm pretty sure Gaunt Brothers got a top 15 at Daytona and Talladega.
But we're talking about Quinn Houff. So, yeah, the GOAT of the boat.
There's a boat?
Greatest of all time of the...
There's a goat on the boat.
There's a goat on the boat.
Hope you don't jump.
Anyway. Oh, no.
They can't swim.
Anyway, what is next? Let's take a look here. So, the possible... There's a possibility, quote-unquote, of Dodge returning to NASCAR. How are we feeling on this? Are we feeling that there's...
I think it's happening.
I think it's happening. I know a lot of people on Twitter got mad.
Tony Stewart is ticked off at Ford.
Good.
He is ticked off Ford. Because if someone was going to sign Kyle Larson to begin with, it was going to be Tony Stewart.
Yep.
And Ford didn't let it happen.
Yep.
Which, I mean, they had their
to
reasons.
To be fair, at the time, I was surprised that Chevrolet signed off on it.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that they let him.
Well, I will say, I think his actions spoke a lot louder than a lot of people who were in his position. He, from what I understand, he did a lot and made himself a better person. That's awesome. But it still was a risk. So I can't say I 1,000% blame Ford for not wanting to take that risk. But at the same time, Tony Stewart can. And he is. That in itself is kind of shown its head, especially with the rumbles that's been happening recently. I think he just got married to a Dodge motor driver in drag racing. He's starting that Tony Stewart Racing, the drag team, and the other driver he hired is also a Dodge driver. And I'm hearing reports that is going to be Mopar powered engines, Dodge.
Well, quote unquote. I don't know how much that the manufacturers have to do with the actual engines. It's mostly,
they make them
from the best that from what I usually think about drag racing. I used to go to drag races all the time. Haven't been since before COVID, but a lot of it is mostly the manufacturers are mostly exterior manufacturers.
Yeah.
It's the engine is much more to do with the team and the sport than Mopar making it or Chevrolet making it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't guess they could really put those engines in their street cars.
No. I think it's more of a branding shell of the car than the car itself. So
I think it's interesting that Steve Phelps he was asked and he wouldn't say anything.
If you don't deny it,
exactly,
then there's something there.
Yeah.
So, it's like, hey, did you do this? Well, I don't know.
I did not do that.
I did not do that. Then, I mean, okay, then you did it. So,
yeah.
I hope it comes. I hope that comes. Of course, until Penn
if somebody is on trial for murder and they say I will neither confirm nor deny.
I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah. But until Steve Phelps or someone else puts the pen to paper and it becomes official, it's not official.
Yeah.
They could, at the very last day, they could literally crumble.
Dodge's PR person can be like, if you don't like horsepower, we have nothing to do with you, and walk off.
That is people are so mad about that, and that has absolutely nothing to do with
just
NASCAR.
A random PR guy.
That's just a marketing tweet of being like, we like big horsepower, buy our cars, kind of thing.
So I heard an interesting stat last night in a video. Yep. I say a stat. It's more like what Dodge's plans are.
Okay.
By 2024, the Charger and the Challenger will be discontinued.
Tragedy. Absolute tragedy.
And they will be kind of replaced with electric supercars.
So I'm not one of those people that's like, I only like gas because I love Tesla. I love electric cars. So
shoot, gas is getting expensive now. I don't want gas.
Anything that makes
anything but gas.
Anything that takes $80 out of my wallet to fill up my car is going to be a good thing. Of course, there's other costs associated. But, that's besides the point. But I'm all up for electric. I'm all up for hybrid. Is what I really like. F1, they run the hybrid. Mercedes had been dominant because they understood the hybrid.
Yeah.
So I support it. I think the hybrid is great. You can do a lot with it. You can add extra horsepower.
Well, see, and here's
extra everything, really.
Here's why this matters. When have they been talking about releasing a new engine package?
2024, 2025. That area. 2024, 2025, the same time as Dodge.
I mean, that just makes sense to me.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It makes me think that that's what's happening is they want to unveil their electric or hybrid or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
With this.
That is kind of a good it's a decent idea.
And it's good for marketing because obviously you got to make sure NASCAR doesn't have to delay their plans. I don't know if they've set a year.
That is something that you have to get that date perfect on that, or you're going to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Here's the thing. I just think Dodge comes in when that new engine package comes in. If it's 2024, it's 2024. If it's 2025, it's 2025. I feel like if they were able to time it right, that would be pretty perfect for marketing, if nothing else. Especially with the next-gen car, they do look a lot more similar to the street models. And if they're able,
I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah, and obviously they're not really similar as far as the car itself, because that's long gone. That's not coming back for a while. I feel like that would be a brilliant marketing technique to kind of bring those in
I
at
think
the same time.
a lot of times, and especially in America, electric cars are portrayed as like this pansy kind of, it's just like people look down on electric cars for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think it would do a lot for your image if you took something that is considered by many people to be this show of manliness, like NASCAR.
Yeah.
And you tie that with it. It's like, no, we're not. This isn't some stupid loser environmental kind of thing. This is like we're serious. Like this is this
for
is
a
real
while,
thing.
for a
Take
while,
us seriously. Yeah.
For a while, it kind of was. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
because here's the thing.
was.
Here's the thing. It was that way because it was an unproven technology.
Very true.
And the only reason you'd do it is if you were just save the planet.
Yeah.
24/7.
And it's not that no more.
No, it's not. It's genuinely becoming a reliable, good source of transportation.
I mean, look at Tesla. I mean,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
they've worked wonders, and they've done so much for the PR of electric cars.
Yeah,
so.
and that's gonna be a good move in the future. I as much as I love to hear the loud roars of those fuel using engines.
Yeah,
that's not gonna be stock car racing. That's going to be old-timey car racing.
Yeah.
It's
going
to
be like
it's
going to be like horse racing, probably.
Exactly.
It's going to be like, yeah, that was really cool, and people still enjoy that.
Yeah.
We've moved on to more technology.
Yeah.
We're not going to pause technology because NASCAR exists.
Yeah. That's how you get left in the dust.
Fair point. There's already a electric car series going that's actually pretty good, Formula E. I've been watching a lot of Formula E. I'm a big Nick DeVries fan. Stoffel Van Dorn, the Mercedes boys.
I liked it better when they did the car changes.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
That was entertaining.
That was fun.
Not cost effective, but entertaining.
Good.
If
TV.
they wrecked the first car, could they try and get in the second car?
That I don't know.
Well, they wouldn't have enough battery anyways.
No, I wasn't watching.
Never mind.
I wasn't watching when they did that.
That was cool though.
Formula E is shown. You can get a great racing series out of it. A lot of people I know. I was watching Tomo F1 talk about it, and he just hated the sound. And the sound is something that you'll either like or you won't. I like it because it sounds like a spaceship. It reminds me of a spaceship.
See, I don't love the sound, but it's to me that's secondary.
Yeah. I think it's produced some good racing. A lot of people would argue that.
They make Monaco look good.
The car's not 80 feet long.
I know
so,
it's. I want that track to be good, but
electric cars, pretty good win. What let's go ahead and do is we're running pretty close. Let's go ahead and hit the first segment of the 3-word game, and then we'll call it a take. So, 3-word game. We're gonna try to sum up a NASCAR driver's season in 3 words. Who's going first here? You want me to go first since it's my thing?
You go first.
Okay,
go for it.
Thing.
Yeah, do this.
I'm gonna start it off big with my favorite driver, Alex Bowman. Zero or hero.
That makes sense.
I'm a big Alex Bowman apologist. I love Alex Bowman, but it's like he's either winning the race or he's nowhere to be found. And that's pretty sad.
Well, and I think the end of the season didn't help that because his car definitely wasn't getting the focus.
No, him or Byron's car.
Yeah, exactly. The last few races weren't good for either of them, really.
So if I pull up real quick, the wild inconsistency on these finishes. So Daytona 500, 35th was involved in an accident. 10th, 9th, 27th, 13th, 3rd, 22nd, 34th, 1st, 38th, 18th, 17th, 1st, 8, 5, 9, 6, 14, 1, 7, 22, 4, 9, 20, 17, 16, 7.
Well, if you ain't first or last,
12, 5,
22,
22, 38, 10. I mean, it's just all over it's literally all over the place.
Yeah.
So, like, he finished 11th at Kansas, 35th at Texas. I think he was in an accident. 10th at Charlotte, and then the championship race, he was 18th. So
was Charlotte no, Larson was the one that had the alternator belt need to be replaced, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I lied.
Yeah.
Bowman had issues with the battery, but I can't remember what it was.
I remember when I was at the Coke 600, I think Bowman finished 4th or 5th? Yeah, 5th. At the end of the race, he was catching hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of their plan is they kind of hold it and stay out of trouble or try to, and then hit it hard at the end, and they're in the right spot.
Yeah.
Most of their wins have come off late race restarts.
Yeah.
But at the end, as I was watching Kyle Larson just run off and leave everybody, Bowman was probably just as fast as Larson in the closing laps.
Yeah.
There was a big distance that he caught up. And had it been a little bit longer or maybe started a little bit earlier, I think he could have got it. But
Yeah.
So that's me, Alex Bowman, zero or hero. What do you got?
My first one is William Byron. Consistency never fails. He did really good, got top 10 in points, and that was a solid. We were talking about it earlier when we were comparing last year's points. He did good. It was a solid plus year for them. Obviously, they could have done better if second round would have went better.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that's luck.
Yeah, it really is. Other than that, he did really well this year. I think he should have been top 5. I don't know if he should have been in the Final Four.
No, I would.
He would have been. He would have been a better choice than Truex.
Yeah, I would say he would have been. I would have 4th seed or first one out.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's just kind of my thought. He was very consistent. He was kind of that driver to maybe he wouldn't win all the time, but he would be there. You'd hear his name a lot. Them sponsors got a lot of TV time because he was in the picture.
Yeah, fair.
What you got?
I would happen to agree with that. I'm gonna go. Let's. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna do another Hendrick guy because this was the first one that made me think of this. Is Kyle Larson.
Mm-hmm.
Thank your stars. Your star being David Starr, because David Starr's brakes exploding, and literally, that won him the championship.
Yeah.
Because without that caution, Truex would have probably won that race.
Who am I kidding? Kyle Larson's pit crew didn't save NASCAR. David Starr
and his
piece of crap
NASCAR
car
because his car exploded.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Without that caution, I don't think Larson catches him. I think that race probably would have
I know Larson doesn't catch him.
I think that race would have went green the whole way. And I think
Truex would have won.
Truex would have won. David Starr's brake explodes, debris on the track, caution, insane pit stop, win the race, win the championship.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see a guy that was so dominant and so good be saved by a brake exploding. Just throwing that out there.
Usually brakes exploding aren't a good thing.
No, but it was for Kyle Larson.
Maybe not for David Starr.
I don't think it was that bad for. I think
he probably went from getting 2 points that race to 1 point that race.
Darn. The participation point.
Yay.
Anyway, what you got?
All right, next one. Ryan Newman. He didn't flip.
Fair.
I mean, so Ryan Newman, it kind of hurt my heart a little bit. I was hoping this year maybe he would at least do okay this year, but he was 28th in points, which doesn't sound terrible when you think there's 40 cars, but there's only 31 full-time drivers because you got the 50-something switching their driver every week.
Very true.
Yeah, but so it was really kind of a disappointing year for them. I hope that he finds something because to me, Rocket Man in the Cup Series is just something that I've always grew up with, and I'd like to be there. I mean, I don't know who would sign him. So,
fair.
I mean, he's getting up there in age, and he's not showing results that would compensate for that age.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think he's probably done.
But he didn't flip.
He didn't flip this year. That's a positive.
So
I think he's done.
Yeah,
personally, and I
don't think he had any cars land on him this year either.
And I want him to be done.
You want him to be done?
I want him to be done.
I like the roadblock.
The what?
The roadblock. That's what he is.
He is.
It doesn't matter if he's first or 31st. He ain't gonna let you by.
He's gonna race you to hard. Matt DiBenedetto.
He gets paid to keep cars behind him.
Matt DiBenedetto knows all about that.
Rest in peace, Matt DiBenedetto.
Rest in peace, Matt.
I have a hard time seeing him come back either.
Okay, so my third one, Denny Hamlin. I mean, there's always next year. Always next year. He can never get it done under any circumstance. So I pulled up. This is where he's ranked the last couple seasons. This season 3rd, last season 4th, 11th, 6th, 9th, 3rd, 23rd, 6th, 9th, 2nd.
I said it earlier. He's the next Mark Martin.
He can't get it done. He can go out there and win 1 million races in a season. He could literally go out there and win 35 of 36 races and come second in the championship race and lose the championship.
It's almost like we have a crappy point system or something.
It's because we do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Sorry, my bad.
Crap, I forgot. This is NASCAR we're talking about.
Heck.
I mean, he just can't get it done. There's always next year, and the law of averages. He's got to win something.
Yeah.
He's been so good for so long. If you keep rolling the dice, eventually one of them's going to go your way. So far, he hasn't. He's called heads and flipped tails like 20 times. He's got next one, right? Just one more. Next one.
Yeah. He's got to get one eventually. Unless he retires. So he could retire early. He could just say, I'm done with it. I don't blame him. He's got the team.
He's made the money. So
he's got the house.
He's got the house. Well, he's got the wife and kid. Oh, never mind.
That was low.
So
that was worse than my Newman thing. That was worse. That sucks.
Hey, I gotta go fishing for something. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
So anyway, yeah, one of them's got to turn up heads for him. Well, he's being a UPS employee. I like to make fun of FedEx, and he's just like his sponsor. He just can't deliver. That is that. Denny delivers is love you on Twitter.
He delivers nothing.
He hasn't delivered anything. He's a lot like FedEx. Anyway, so I guess that will conclude episode number 1 of the Right Sides Only podcast. Thank you for sticking through with us. Hopefully we'll do this again.
It's
been real.
We got to do it again. We had more subjects that we needed to get to. We weren't able to get to.
We talked about the points format for 30 minutes. Anyway, It's been real. It's been fun. Ain't been real fun, but yet here we are. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, dislike it, I guess. I don't know. Call us mean names in the comments. Follow me on Twitter at Turnpike _ and send rude messages there, or Right Sides Only.
I need to get my Twitter going so I can.
At Right Sides Only Pod. God bless. Have a good day. And I don't know.
Wow, you just ruined
win a race.
The exit. Like we were gonna be okay. The outro was gonna be solid, and then you had to go and do that.
I may or may not have.
Right Sides Only podcast, where you ain't right,
you're get left. I guess I don't know.
That'll work. Y'all have a good one.